What's up, YouTube? Here we are for part 3 of our M21 Limited meeting. I'm Lord Tupperware, joined by MisterMetronome and Corticals from the Limited Level Ups podcast. We're gonna be diving into Black's commons and uncommons here, and it's gonna be a struggle. So we get Grasp, we get Finishing Blow, we get where is it? Where's my Thallid? And those are the three. I don't even know where Finishing Blow belongs. So it's Grasp and Thallid. I guess maybe they're separate categories. Grasp is bad. It's not bad. Grasp is worse than anticipated in this format.
Right, for a bunch of reasons.
Yes.
Right, like if this, like Black, we should talk about Black as a whole. I think just to start off this conversation, Black is not good.
Yes.
Right. Black is not a good color in this format. Its uncommons are decent for sure, but its commons are very bad. You can't, as much as blue is a support color, Black is even more of a support color.
Well, but this makes it hard. This card makes it hard to be a support color.
Right, exactly. And then Double Black makes that harder to do. So Grasp is obviously an inherently powerful card. It's just hard to leverage that power.
Yes.
Well, I think it's important to note that Black is playable. It's not like you're hard avoiding Black. Like,
No,
the format's not that polarized, I don't think.
No, and I'm dissuaded. It's enough that I feel strongly enough to not take Grasp, pick one, pack one over a lot of other things. Like, where do you feel? How do you feel about Shock versus Grasp?
I think I'm taking Shock over Grasp.
We're taking Shock. So I think it's also important to note the stuff that Grasp kills. Like, this was sort of illuminating to me when we did the crash course, and I didn't really take it to heart. But so Shock kills half the commons and uncommons. Scorching Dragonfire kills 3/4 of the commons and uncommons, and then Grasp only kills, on face value, Grasp kills 9 more creatures than Dragonfire does. It's not that big of a boost for a pretty big cost to, 1, playing a color that is much weaker than the other, and 2, being double pipped. So I think Grasp. The other thing is that this format is quite aggressive, and Black doesn't support that game plan very well.
Right, that's the thing. There's Black's cheap creatures. Just Black's creatures in general are quite bad.
Well,
right?
if you look at Black's 2-drops,
yeah, they're not good.
Right, you've got the medium of mediums. You've got the best of these three, I think, but it's a piker with flash. Yeah. And then you've got maybe the best of the bunch in terms of what Black is trying to do, but it forces you to play off curve because you have to keep, for this to be a good blocker, you have to keep up Black, which is not what you want to do.
Yeah, all of Black's 2s are very medium. Black just straight up can't be built as an aggro deck, just using its commons, right? And that's
a pretty big knock against it, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is tough. So I think it's Grasp, does Thallid belong in the same category? Thallid is just a great card because it lets, a 1/1 is actually sometimes a relevant body in this format. Having a card that dies into something is very good. Works with whatever sacrifice synergies exist. It's cheap-ish, but it just doesn't have the support around it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's in the same tier as Grasp, but I think it's a very clear, good card, and I think it's second.
Okay, and then Finishing Blow here.
I think so, but you really only want 1, maximum 2 copies of this card in your deck.
Yeah.
How do you feel about? Maybe this is way too hot.
Let's get the takes. Let's get the takes, baby.
How do you feel about Skeleton Archer over Finishing Blow?
I love Skeleton Archer. You could sell me on it.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Skeleton Archer's backbreaking when it hits.
It's very good.
It's really great against white decks. There's a ton of 1 toughness creatures in white decks, right? And then it's decent other places.
And then right? Sometimes it just finishes. So it's just you're getting into combat a lot in this format, and this finishes something off too.
Also, if you're looking for like uniquely powerful things to do in black, and there's not that many, I could point to a bunch of uniquely powerful things in the other colors. If you're looking for uniquely powerful things in black, Skeleton Archer plus like Alchemist Gift
Yeah.
is a good, like, it's a little package, right? That plus like Goblin Arsonist. So like that's something you could do. I do
If we're
think you're
talking
taking,
hot takes, I am on Alchemist Gift as the 5th best black common.
yeah, I like Gift. I think that card's quite good.
My problem is that like it's hard to build an aggro black deck, and so then this combat trick gets a lot worse.
Well, it's weird because I don't think it's a combat trick that doesn't play like a normal combat trick, right? I think it's more
Sure.
like it fills niche role. It fills a lot of niche roles while being a generically decent card, right? Like does the Skeleton Archer thing. It triggers your life gains. It matters things if you're in that deck, then that matters, right? It is just whatever the value of the trick on its own is, and it's 1 mana, right?
It turns
So, like,
your Sapperling token that's left over from Deathbloom Salad into kill some green monster.
right.
Yeah.
It does a lot of small things.
I would be hard pressed to take this over the Mass Blackguard, but yeah, I'm here for the takes. I'm here for the hot takes.
I would prefer to end up in a black deck with 3 gifts and 1 finishing blow than the other way around.
Yeah,
I agree with that for sure.
I would also note that I think Crypt Lurker should get a nod, like, because there's reanimation stuff going on, there's sacrifice stuff going on, but 4 tough, there's nothing gets past this.
4 mana 3/4 is just a good body, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like it is a large body in this format.
That's the one reason I'm leery to put Skeleton Archer. Like Skeleton Archer is a better card, but I think they're kind of interchangeable to a certain extent.
Yeah, ish.
I don't know.
I mean, Skeleton Archer is better,
Yeah.
but if you have the synergy with Crypt Lurker is better in some decks.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could put it in this category. I'm fine with that. I don't feel that strongly about it. And then we just put the rest of this junk in the trash.
I think you're taking Fetid Imp over Crypt Lurker.
I am too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't like any of these. Can we talk about Rise again? Like, so Alex, you think in like 2 weeks this card will be good?
Yeah, I think give it 2 weeks time. Need some time to bake in the oven.
Okay.
I think that people are taking this card absurdly highly right now. Again, I think people are trying to get, like, I just never see this card basically. So I think people are like trying to do the thing, and I think it is a powerful card and it does a lot of really great things in the format. But I just don't think you can reliably get into a deck where it's good right now. Right, so give it some time, give the format some time to breathe, and I think it'll move up. I would put it in that like blackguard tier. I don't think it deserves to be lower than that, just because like on power level, like yes, you're not going to get there all the time, but I think
I'll put it here. I don't think it belongs in this category.
All right.
So the thing is, even when you get there and you reanimate the thing, it's not like it is as difficult to assemble Reanimator in this format as it is to assemble Reanimator in Cube, right? Like Ikoria, the fact that your large monsters discarded themselves was a big game.
And that's that one of the reanimation spells killed a creature.
Right. Yeah. So in this format, you still have to find the discard outlet, the reanimate spell, and the monster. So you have to find 3 things. Like it's as difficult as it is in Cube without tutors. And you're playing like the Reanimator matchup versus essentially mono red deck most of the time, except the thing you reanimate isn't Gristlebrand. Like it doesn't stabilize you. Sometimes you get to do the thing and you're still just losing.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Ben.
You're just like you see guys just like are off the reanimation.
I think it's like I think it's fine.
It's powerful, but it is definitely like you get begrudgingly pushed into it. Rather than something you're actively looking to do.
I think it's like black-white, right? Where like
1 in 25 drafts you'll get the deck.
I think it's more common than that. I think just based on what I've seen, people like the amount, the rate that which people have posted decks that are decent blue-black reanimator decks. I think it's more common than black-white. But I agree. Like you shouldn't take this card highly right now for sure. But I think that don't you just think like turn 5 Megalodon is close enough to Gristlebrand in this format?
It's it's fine. I think it's a good card. I think Blue Black Reanimator is a fine deck. I just don't think you're supposed to aggressively go after it.
Right.
It's like a tier 2 strategy that you will do if the other premier tier 1 strategies aren't available to you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I agree with your assessment that like as more people try to draft those tier 1 strategies, they're going to get a little bit worse and diluted. And so as a result, like the tier 2 strategies are going to get a little better.
Yeah, I can buy that.
So beyond that, like we've got medium junk.
Liliana Stewart, I think, is better than all of those cards.
So my feeling about Steward is that it basically belongs with Malefic Scythe or Black Green, where you care about stuff dying.
I think Black Red too, sort of.
At times, like sometimes.
I don't know. I have rarely played this card, if ever. I think. I think it's its body is just too irrelevant, and its effect is too irrelevant.
Yeah, I think it's like a synergy card. Like it's like a synergy D, right? Like
yeah.
Even the times when you're like, oh, like imagine you have 2 Twin Blade Marauders, like the 5 mana, 5/4 black green gold card, right? Like this is a card you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, and you can play this card in your deck, and it's gonna be fine, but it's not like we're doing it or anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I feel like I would want. I mean, maybe not this, but like I definitely want these over that card, just because they have stats.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm also not super interested in arguing about these 10 cards because they're all.
I think Village Rites belongs higher. I think that card is quite good.
I have never found room for this card in my.
Oh yeah, I think
decks. Where do you want it here?
No, I think just in the Cage Zombie, because in the Cage Zombie pile mostly because like it on power level it's like the Blackguard Rise Against ish tier, like one of those tiers, but you never want more than 1 or 2, like 2 max when you get the nuts deck for it.
What is the nuts deck for this card?
Yeah, there is not. You're reducing your board to draw cards. That's not good.
There just aren't disposable bodies lying around for this, I feel like.
No, I think there are black red decks that will play, like if you get enough, like I agree they don't come together enough, but even just like sacking your token off of Thallid, right? Something like that. But like, or like I think your black red decks want to play Sky Scanner, for example. Like black red's not an aggressive deck, right? In this format. It is grind pretty much through and through.
I think it can be, but yeah, I agree.
I think one Village Rites is the max that's ever making.
Sure.
And then
I think it's good enough though, is the thing.
This card is just too clunky.
Yeah.
We talked about this. This card is fine to reanimate, but is not like exciting. Like
D level reanimator.
And then these are just like sideboard bad cards.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's going to take us on to Black's uncommons. Starting with Malefic Scythe here. Has this card performed any differently for you, gentlemen, than we initially thought?
It's a little harder to get counters on it than I would have initially thought. Mostly because the best way to get counters on it is by attacking and forcing your opponent to block, and Black's not great at doing that.
That's my feeling as well. I don't like the card that much, to be honest. I think it's fine.
Wow.
Like, it's good. I think it's just not that high of a pick. I think I'm lower. My gut says I'm probably lower on it than you two are.
My only knock against it is that it's black.
Right.
But I think it's really powerful.
Kind of what Ben said. Just like the best way to enable it is to be, for making your opponent feel like they need to block, right? And that just doesn't happen in your black decks all that much. So I think you need to be baking in synergies into your deck to make this better than just, stuff will happen in combat and this will grow.
So I'm sensing that this is perhaps not the best black uncommon for you guys.
Looking
on par with Devotee for me. I think pack one, pick one. I would take Devotee over it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
That's really close for me.
I agree with Devotee.
And then Gourmand, same. I would put them like 1, 2, 3 here. And I think they're in the same column.
I would take Eliminate over Gourmand.
Really?
Yeah, Eliminate's really good.
Yeah, I agree with that in the
I,
top
I think
tier.
I would take Eliminate over Scythe also.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty telling, I think. And maybe it's just telling of Eliminate being really good in this format. But
Eliminate kills everything. Like all of the threats that go out of control from the aggro decks are 2 and
yeah,
3 drops that have had something happen to them, and Eliminate still kills them after the thing has happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, I like Eliminate in the top tier. I hadn't thought about it that way, that it just kills all the 3 drops to get out of the range of the other removal. But yeah, I totally buy that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into that. And then Gourmand in the next tier. So I like Sanctum on its own, Black Sanctum on its own. What are your thoughts about it? But I haven't played it since like day 0, basically.
Yeah, I'm off this card as a card you should be playing in your main, just on its own. I don't think like it's very very good when you have just one or other Sanctum, but I don't love this card on its own, mostly because the game I just find that the games they don't last enough turns basically, right, for this to deal more than
And if you don't have it in your opener, it just doesn't matter.
yeah, if you don't have it in your opener, it's pretty horrendous,
Okay.
right?
And black decks don't slant aggressively, which is where
Right.
you leverage the drain the best.
Yes.
Like it just doesn't line up. So I'm only playing it if I've got 2 Sanctums.
Yeah.
Okay, so what makes the is there anything else that's in the Gourmand tier? And
No.
2, then what's next? Is it
Carrion Rub, Pestilent Haze?
I think it's Pestilent Haze, right?
Pestilence Haze, if we're thinking of black as a controlling color, it should go in tier 1. It needs to go in tier 1.
I don't think it goes in tier 1. I don't think you're taking you think it's here?
I think that if you're planning to leverage a black deck, I think you need to value it there.
Okay.
Ben, do you feel strongly against that, or am I just being too hot of a taker here? Or
I mean, this is a pretty hot take from you because you weren't even.
I know
you thought this was a sideboard card in our review.
I do not like Infest in Limited generally, but I think in this format, given what black is doing and how it's positioned in the format and how the rest of the format is shaken out, I think this card is very good.
Black's got too many small creatures that also kills for me to think about it that way. I don't think there is. I think you're thinking about it like you want to build a pure control deck, and
you just can't.
Miserable to me in this format.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's like a pure control deck, but there are enough high-ish toughness creatures that this doesn't kill, and you can do the thing where you set it up so you just play it on turn 4 when opponents start to curve out on you. Because I think it does kill enough of the things that it catches you up, right? Like my big complaint about this card a lot of the time is just that you try to set it up, but your opponent plays a 3 toughness creature, and you just feel awful about it. But I think in versus red decks versus white decks, this card does a lot. Even versus like green decks, it kills a lot of the things.
I agree, but then like what other color are you playing with it? Like that it doesn't get like it's I think it's good in black green. I think it's horrifically out of place in black red. I could maybe picture a black white deck where it's okay. Blue black, it feels tough to sell me on. Like because what 2 drops do you have in your deck other than Benalian Arcanist where this is good in blue black? I don't know.
This is a tough sell for me to take over these other 4.
I'm on board as number 5.
Yeah, I am too.
All right, yeah, I feel I don't know. I feel like it's the top here, but
okay. So let me ask you this.
Yeah, look at this time. All right.
Yeah. How does it feel, Alex? It feels bad, right?
Scott, you're so in for it right now, Alex.
I got the hot tea music from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire playing in my head.
So, is this something you've put into practice, or is this theory crafting in your head? Because if it's theory crafting in your head, I think we're putting it below Gourmand.
This is something I personally no, but I've seen it on the other side of the battlefield, and it's been like each time I've had this card cast against me multiple times already, and it's been backbreaking.
But and you're playing the deck that's backbreaking against like 90% of the time.
Bias towards me playing the card that's backbreaking against, but isn't that what you're worried about in the black decks? That you can't keep up with those other decks, the red whites and the blue whites and the the red blues of the world.
I mean, I think it's a good card. I just think it's like niche enough that those other 4 cards are rawly more powerful than it.
No, I can buy that. I can buy that. That the other 4 cards are just like the other 4 cards are generically powerful enough that. And again, it's the whole like when this is good, it's an A. When it's bad, it's an
F
or whatever, right? So yeah, okay. I don't feel too strongly about arguing my point here. I just want to point out that like this card is better than a normal -2, -2. By
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
For that.
Yeah.
Swindlers is next.
I'm lower on this card than the rest of the world, I think.
Wow, why is that card not good?
It is good
because Skeleton Archer and Crypt Lurker are better.
No,
yes.
It's so easy for that to be a 4-mana 3/5, and the ceiling is just nuts.
All right, I'm taking Swindler over this. I think just because it's a 2-drop.
Like Colossal Dreadmaw on the grave.
Like putting Colossal Dreadmaw on the grave, or like it enables the blue-black reanimate deck where you want to have 5/7s and 8/6s.
You just want Crypt Lurker over this every time to enable your reanimate stuff.
I disagree.
Okay, I feel like I'm lower on this card than everybody, so I'm fine to defer. But I don't.
I'm lower on the card than I thought it would be. Like it reads pretty well, but the part also like part of this might just like I just haven't played too many black decks, so maybe I just haven't played with the card enough.
Yeah, I haven't either. I've played some of like maybe a reanimate deck or whatever, but I think it was even black red. I don't know. Yeah, I have a hard time. I think there are a lot of commons that I'm happy with this over, but I'll put it here.
It just feels like such a good rate. Like, okay, so 4-mana 3/5 you're happy with in black, right?
Sure.
And then it's got the upside of potentially.
But that's not a big different. That's not that much different to me than Crypt Lurker as a guaranteed 4-mana 3/4.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think the 5 does matter because the thing is, a lot of the tricks are like a lot of the things that augment your cheap creatures or the way that your cheap creatures grow, like they grow to 2, right? So your 2-power creatures can't get through this when you put whatever combat trick or a dub or whatever augmenting thing you're putting on it, right? I think that matters. Like 5 is much better than 4, but I guess Ben, are you taking this or Crypt Lurker? I guess you're taking this.
I'm taking Grub.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So do you like?
Are you taking Skeleton Archer over it? Or are you taking Grub over Archer? No.
Taking Grub over Archer, I think, unless I'm like it's deck dependent. I think a little bit. I mean, it's obviously best in blue-black.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. I don't feel super strongly arguing about really any of these. Like, I think there's a pretty big gap. I think there's a gap here.
I think for the rest of these, we should just kind of talk about like where they are good because they're not all generically powerful, right? But they are like I'm looking at Silver Smoke Gold. That card is very good when you get the deck. Like,
when you get, but don't just put this in your black deck without any. If you have no ways to gain 3 life, this is just a 3-mana 3/1.
Yeah, it's not a good card.
I would want a minimum of 3 clean ways to gain 3 life.
Yes, and then it's quite good though, right? Yeah. Like if you have that, it turns into a decent card.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think Sanctum goes in that same pile. If you've got the other Sanctums.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can we talk about Freebooter? Because I think you were talking last night, Ben, that you don't like Freebooter all that much, right?
I'm off Freebooter. Yeah, it's not a good card in this format.
I'm with Ben on this one.
Mm-hmm. I
think the body it leaves behind is too irrelevant when it whiffs, and it just like dies to a sneeze also.
Yeah, so it's like, and since black decks don't care about like pecking in for damage all that much,
exactly.
Like, yeah, that's fair. So
and I think like if you look at your decks, anything that's not a spells deck is like a 17 creature deck.
Yeah. No, I buy that.
Yeah, I think this
bad deals is a bad deal.
I have cast it, but like
so have I.
It just doesn't matter. Like. You play it sometimes, you don't, whatever. Like it's best. The problem is this is probably best as like top end for a curve out deck, and that just doesn't exist for black. And
I think it's sideboard and a control mirror. I think Witch's Cauldron's better than those other 3 cards.
Yeah, I agree.
I like
this is better than I thought I feel like I don't have room for this, but I thought I would want Village Rites over this, and I don't. I think this is better than that.
I think you'll play your first copy of Village Rites over this in like a non-dedicated sacrifice deck.
I don't, but I've not had a lot of experience with the card.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like this order looks good to me. Like
yeah.
I really like this order here.
I think so. Yeah. Poor black, but it was about time. And I guess Grasp goes
too good for too long.
Grasp goes here.
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
I'm taking Grasp over Haze.
I'm taking Grasp over Haze and Gourmand.
Okay.
No, not Gourmand. I'm taking Grasp over Haze.
Yeah, I'm taking Grasp over Haze.
All right. 2-1 here. 2-1.